Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, highway ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They too maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the guards of the gate, so when they say they fear God, now you know what they made.
The alleyway. You know, I had to really step back and look at my situation for what it was. You know, I had to look at my life like it was a movie. I had to look at all the moving parts. So I could really understand what it was. When they say love make you blind. Yeah. I'm introverted. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Head goes on the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens, the streets wanna murder. Streets wanna murder. I told you that the gang of ours come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. Hate the city red. All the shit I see replaying in my head. The streets talking, so we call them boys instead. Black wanna murder when they call with another days. And I pray they would. But it was right, really. Niggas was crooked. Playing the city with niggas that cost them a bullet.
Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, I got a nice live stream, man. I didn't want to do it, but hey, this big Aboriginal news, I got to exploit the information that's going on in our community. So peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. Cash out tags at the bottom right of the screen by the Grizzly Bear.
I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Head goes on the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burden. I'm introverted. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder. Head goes on the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens. The streets wanna murder. Streets wanna murder. I told you that the gang of ours come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. Yeah, baby, you know why I get it. Stuck in the grind, bitch, I'm on a mission. But when they talk a little baby, I'm different. And on my nuts, I handle my business. And on my phone, shit in the business. I'm really rapping the shit that I'm living. I got a problem inside of my mind. I hear the streets talking, they tell me to get it. Yeah, I gotta get it. Yeah, bitch, tell me I'm tripping. Tell me all of my money on top of my music to give myself what I was missing. Yeah, I never asked them niggas for a band. I never caught them niggas in the jam. I know the ops stepping in the moon. I know my head going for a bang. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed, I got a murder.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. This is the Wake and Bake Show. Let me know what y'all smoking on and where y'all at this Grand Rising.
Yeah.
What?
Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, highway ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They too maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair by numb is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me.
Lost see, I glossed to it, shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Everybody in the chat, man, it's your brother Big Aboriginal Power. Peace and blessings. If you just now tuning into the live stream, hit the like button. Let's try to get 100 people in this live stream before the 30-minute marker. So hopefully by the hour marker, we can get 200 people in here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I am going to play some different music right now. Shout out to the artist Tariq. He's in the chat. Tariq in the chat want me to play some of his music. I told him I would. So y'all let me know if it's fire or trash. Drop the fire emojis if it's good, and drop the doo-doo emojis if it's trash. Let it be known, man. Let's get it right now. Drop the fire emojis or the doo-doo emojis.
Such more time than a mattress. I'ma take a nap, you crashing. Only use cash, no plastic. Make a fat chick, do it backward. Make a mad chick, make a mistake. Gotta follow me, Miss Fantastic. Fuck another leaf, I'm lacking. Play another beat, I'll trash it. Stay mad, fly like a dragon. Coming from the blunt that I'm dragging. Always chillin', never spazzing. Sitting that job, ain't maxing. When I get home, I'll roll up. So I wanna go to the store, bro. So I hold up when I pull up. Boy, take a shot to the whole cup. Really hit the pillow when I throw up. When she go down, you should go nuts. Wait a minute, baby, I said hold up. I can feel my heart getting colder. Feel it worse than a cold shoulder. Harder than 4 top 4 holders. Kinda like a sky for the lean over. Yeah. She said, who is this new me? I said, so the chill was the true me. I'm thinking he with my nigga Jubies. Trying to come out like who is we? Cayenne rice, yeah, that's you eat. Only the 5 for a true fee. I'm gonna end by the fill of me. Big fans possibly bash me. OTF put you in the trash for me. All my brothers gon' do it casually. Have a nigga sleep like it's UFC. Need hella straps, call it Duty. With more clips than a movie. Lace up a guts like a smoothie. Roll up a dust and I'm cool. Fuck her until she got dream. Meditation and precipitation got you niggas hating. Soul in the air, it's just like fair. You think it's not fair. If I get weapons, I grab it up there. Are you okay? I got rest in the stairs. Get in my face, I really don't care. You niggas is weird, you niggas is goofy. I act so stupid, I'm judging you loose. Focus so much, I forget like a rookie. I really can't fuss on you. Talk about shooting. Focus on luck, my family choose. And butter be easy, cause I'll be good. Supposed to be blood, but they hate how I do it. Supposed to be blood, but they hate how I do it. Let it breathe for like a whole second. My soul and body.
How y'all feeling out there? Is it gas or ass?
Be like a nigga that's mental, no broken, no box, but I'm not in the kitchen. I'm watching these dishes, no water with it. Baby bottles all up in the kitchen, wild dark liquor be what I'm sipping. 13 mix it up with some liquor, soldier. Just watching, listen, just sit and listen to the sinners who feel spitting and killing these written. Ain't no karate, she no karate. I know I'm lazy, thinking her daily, supposed to get easy. Here's my easy, players are baby, pushing no phase me. Negative energy, tasting like Hennessy. Shout out my friend and be closer, you tend to be. You never tend to be, shorty, you tend to be. Pussy, I tend to be, kinda like tend to be. Like be a game, level like 20, maybe like Jordan. When I suss a score, y'all niggas boring, leaving me snoring. Y'all niggas grinning, I'm making the snow. Throwing these pennies and quarters at hoes. That was a joke, just call me a joker. Rolling her mouth when I'm talking poker, killing the bee and I murder the flow. I want to smoke, so I gotta go. I hit up the stove and I'm in my zone. Bumping me, bro, you already know. I got a sword, if you got the roll, go through the back, just cover me, bro. Swinging away, he letting it go. Ready to beat the start of these hoes. Get over here, give me your soul. If we get serious, it's good to us. Don't wanna trust. Standing your girl up and love a cuss. Pushing your man, check up a cuss. Get your credit, we'll love a dust. Smoking new faces like double dust. Smoking the beat, now it's acid dust. So they go first, so I'm runner up. Niggas see how we are coming up. So they just trying to sit next to us. Whole team stay scheming. Killing bees while I'm sleeping, so I gotta keep dreaming. Put some work on your defense. 20 piece what I'm smoking. Oh my God, it's so potent. Don't ask why I'm coughing. If I met up what I'm lost in. Hot sauce, how I'm saucing. Then I feel like I lost him. T-Rock.
How y'all feeling, man? Y'all fucking with it? Is it gas or ass, man? Let me know how y'all feeling in the chat. I actually was bopping to that bitch, though. I'm gonna be like, yeah, hey, you know what I mean? Shout out to T-Rock in the chat, man. That shit has some bop in it. You know what I'm saying? That shit has some bop in it. Yeah. Hey, man, let's finish up with the live stream, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share the live stream, man. We're gonna get straight into the audio. We're gonna take the quick 60-second break, and we'll be right back.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back. Got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it.
Everybody in the chat, the music you just heard is from Hellyway. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Follow my brother Hellyway on all social media platforms. And you can also, for the last song you heard before that, go to 302 T-Rock. That's on Spotify, SoundCloud, and all the rest of the streaming platforms. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat. I want to say shout out to Dre Cobb's Music for the Cash App donation. We want everybody to support the channel, man. Support the channel. Dre Cobb Music said we started a $2 challenge. Let's see what else he said. We're starting the $2 challenge. Appreciate the information. Shout out to Dre Cobb's Music. Make sure y'all support the channel. For those that want to support the channel, Cash App tags at the bottom right of the screen by the Grizzly Bear, and PayPal and Cash App information is also ticking across at the bottom of the screen. So listen, man, I don't want to hold y'all any farther along, man. Let's get into this beef between Tariqnasheed and Dane Calloway, man. This is a crazy beef, man. We're gonna be talking about it, but before I get into the meat and potatoes of the live stream, I want to shout out everybody that's watching this that's not able to type in the chat. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully you have a beautiful, blissful day and a great travel on your commute, or if you're on your work day. Peace and blessings to you guys. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I also want to shout out to some of the brothers and sisters that took their time out to comment in the chat. You know what I mean? They actually took their time to comment in the chat. So let me shout out some of the brothers and sisters that did that as well. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat to let me know that y'all can hear me loud and clear. Shout out to my sister Chick Harmony Roots. Shout out to Sun Baby, the original Anglo-Saxon, Richie Taylor III. Shout out to Mountain City Mellow, Serious God, Chief Crazy Overstanding, Copper Tone, AP of Pearl. Shout out to A.V. Copper X. Shout out to Tayshawn. Shout out to DeMarco Bennett. DeMarco Bennett, hey, don't tell me how to run my motherfucking channel, nigga. All right. Shout out to you though. Peace and blessings to you, brother. Shout out to the makeup OG. Shout out to Intentions Amaru, my brother T-Rock in the building. Shout out to the Ancient One, Smoke Signal, Sun Baby, Eric Wheeler, Intentionist Goddess. Also, shout out to India Goddess. Shout out to India Goddess. Shout out to Cordero Miles. Shout out to General Peace, Eric Grensell, Big Chief Fuck You Crackers, Tino Wick, Tampa Supreme, Brendan Rogers, Mr. Brendan Rogers to you guys. Shout out to Rizza Lopez, Enox D. Phillips. Who else we got in here? Xavier Mathis. Who else we got up in this thing? We got Khalil. Shout out to my brother Khalil. We got Black Pill in this thing. Darius Matthews in this thing. Make sure y'all hit that like button, you guys. Very, very important for you guys to thumb up the video, support the channel, support the channel. Reginald Jones. I'm not gonna ask y'all to support it anymore. If y'all want to support it, y'all know where the cash out tags at the bottom right of the screen. Make sure y'all support the channel. Shout out to Reginald Jones. Shout out to who else we got up in this thing. We deep up in this thing, man. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat. We are deep. We are deep. Shout out to War Eagle and her Sky, Sister Sky or Brother Sky. I'm not for sure who that is. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I did take the time out to shout out everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all support the movement, man. It's really a dope live stream we got coming up for you guys. Shout out to Trout Moses, 47 The World. All right. Susan Thompson, Ryder Prophet. Shout out to Ryder Prophet in the building. We lit, man. So let's get into it, man. So y'all been seeing what's going on. Y'all been seeing what's hold on, give me 2 seconds. Oh shit. Oh. Sorry about that, you guys. Y'all know what's going on, man. Oh, y'all see what's going on, man. The beef between Tariqnasheed and Dane Calloway. You see what I'm saying? And this is some awkward beefing. You know what I'm saying? These are two big platforms with their own rights. Tariqnasheed been putting in work since the early Hidden Colors films. A lot of people have their opinion about him. Shout out to Dane. Shout out to Tariq. You also have Dane Calloway, who's been putting in the work, piggybacking off some of the other Aborigines, laying out some of the information, gathering a large crowd in the Aborigine community, being one of the spokesmen for the Aboriginal community. So shout out to him for doing what he did, or whatever have he done. And people have their own gripes with Dane as well. But shout out to these two brothers. I wish they could hash it out and come together for the overall the better for our community. You know what I'm saying? Aboriginal, so-called FBA, black people in America. We don't need this bickering and complaining. If we can't even deal with this on the social level, how are we going to be able to come to it on the political level and counsel without arguing? So, but we're going to get into the argument. We're going to get into the back and forth. I'm about to play some audio from Tariqnasheed. It's called Lame Hella Gay, the Plebiscite Babbler. But we're going to get into this little rant of his, and it looked like he's making fun of Dane with the troll. So we're gonna play some of that audio, and I will get to some of Dane Calloway response and rebuttals to that. So let's get right into that, y'all. Man, hit that like button, share the live stream, support the channel. Here you go. This is Tariqnasheed.
For exclusive content that's not on my social media, go to my website. I'm just here to lie to you for YouTubeClicks.com. Period. My name is Lame Helligate. I'm an author and a professional plebiscite babbling troll. My dream is to become a legitimate documentary filmmaker, but I can't seem to garner the respect that people like Tariqnasheed has and put out reputable material. So basically, I steal a bunch of material from Hidden Colors, I remix it with utter nonsense in order to sell my poorly written books that's full of plebiscite babble. Period. Some say I do this because I'm an ugly, light-skinned, troglodyte-looking dude with an inferiority complex. But I say no, that's not true. It's because I'm an ugly, light-skinned, troglodyte-looking dude with an inferiority complex. But I say no, that's not true. They say I'm reduced to making asinine clickbait titles in order to trick people into watching my YouTube videos while I babble for 2 hours while racking up YouTube revenue, never explaining anything or getting to the point. I disagree with that too, period. Also, I like to play overly dramatic background music to make my pointless babbling seem more deep. Or period. Some people even say I read random, out of context documents and claim that they're credible sources and proof, and that's just not true at all. I can back everything up with claims and facts, period. I can prove this in the new book that I've written called Frederick Douglass was an extraterrestrial, period. I'm going to now explain some facts about my new book. Now, in order to understand this, we must first turn to the book called Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now, Mary Had a Little Lamb, according to documents, was Frederick Douglass's favorite nursery rhyme.
That nigga said, according to documents. That nigga wildin', yo.
A little lamb. Now, Mary Had a Little Lamb, according to documents, was Frederick Douglass's favorite nursery rhyme, period. Now, Mary Had a Little Lamb goes as follows. Mary had a little lamb, the fleece was white as snow. Now, when you look up Black Law Dictionary under the word snow, the definition is very interesting, period. According to Black Law's Dictionary, the definition of snow is a mass flickering of white spots on a television or radar screen caused by an interference of a poor signal. Now, let's look at that. During the period of Frederick Douglass's lifetime, there was no...
This nigga, do he sound like Tyrone Biggums? Did this nigga sound like Tyrone Biggums from Dave Chappelle show? He said, documents. Hey, man, hey, hit that like button, share the live stream. You can hear everything loud and clear. Drop them fire emojis in the chat. I don't have a pick in this fight. I'm just playing it for the community so we can talk about what's going on between the beef. You see what I'm saying?
Interesting, period. According to Black Law's Dictionary, the definition of snow is a mass flickering of white spots on a television or radar screen caused by an interference of a poor signal. Now, let's look at that. During the period of Frederick Douglass's lifetime, there was no television, or was there? Frederick Douglass liked that nursery rhyme because it was really a secret message from his home planet, who did have televisions at that time. This is unequivocal proof of an extraterrestrial background for Frederick Douglass. Now, how are you going to refute those facts? How? How? Period. And more proof about Frederick Douglass, he talked about slave ships. Now, during that time, as a slave, he was illiterate. So how did Frederick Douglass know how to read? He was taught how to read from Martians, period. How you going to refute that? How? How? Also, at the time, the letter L and the letter V were only used by high-ranking Masonic Jesuits. So when Frederick Douglass talked about being on...
That nigga said Jesuits. He didn't say Jesuits. He said Jesuits. That's...
slave ships, he meant something else. The were only used by high-ranking Masonic Jesuits. So when Frederick Douglass talked about being on slave ships, he meant something else. The letter L and V were not in use. I did research, and I found out that those letters replaced a P and a C. So the letter L and V were not in use. I did research, and I found out that those letters replaced a P and a C. So what Frederick Douglass was really saying is that he was on a spaceship, not a slave ship, period. How are you going to refute these facts? That's unequivocal proof that Frederick Douglass was an extraterrestrial, period. And speaking of high-ranking Masons, I also talk about their influence and control of the music industry and how they manipulate R&B singers with witchcraft. All of that is in my new book entitled Anita Baker is a Werewolf. Now, how you gonna refute these facts? How? How? You can't refute these facts. Period. Anyway, tune in tomorrow where my next video will be about the truth behind the civil rights movement. I explain how the Montgomery bus boycott was not even about discrimination or black people in the back of the bus. That was a lie put out by the Illuminati to cover up the fact that the buses in Montgomery had time portals in the back so that people could transport to other dimensions. Period. This video will be entitled Rosa Parks Was from Wakanda.
See, this nigga petty. All right, man. So let's listen. I'm not laughing at nobody, man. I just think this shit is a fucking hilarious, man. This shit is hilarious. But I do want to get into Dane Calloway's attempt to rebuttal Tariqnasheed. Are y'all ready for the rebuttal from Dane Calloway? If y'all ready, drop those fire emojis in the chat. I'm gonna need at least a couple people to support the channel, man. PayPal information ticking across the screen. Cash out information on the bottom right of the screen. I need y'all to thumb up the video and support the channel, man. We're gonna break this shit down properly, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Make sure y'all support the channel. I ain't doing shit till we get some support. At least hit that like button, share the live stream, man. At least hit that like button and share the live stream, man. All right, let's get right into it.
You worked hard. Now you're hurt on.
Oh shit, commercials. Know these niggas getting paid off of their content. Let's get it.
Just because the truth has an impactful, everlasting effect on free thinkers mentally, generally speaking. However, the truth is not meant for everybody to know, merely because everybody can't handle the truth mentally. Some would break down in denial of having their realities changed or tested. Some would even go as far as slandering the messenger of truth as their only reaction, simply based on how they were taught to receive new information, which would only be new to them because they had no idea about it, or they never bothered to research it themselves, or they never heard of it from a white man before, as if a so-called white man has more credibility than a so-called black man somehow. Or their reactions could be based on how they were raised as a child, either not having both parents in the household, or they could have been showing off in school simply because they didn't get enough attention at home.
Did you hear what he's saying? Listen to this. My man about to go in. Shout out to Tayshawn for the Cash App donation. Shout out to Tayshawn for the Cash App donation. Shout out to my brother Tayshawn in the chat, man. Don't let Tayshawn be the only one to support the channel today, y'all. I'm cooking up some heat. I told y'all I'm coming every day with some heat. Don't let Tayshawn be the only one to support the channel, man. Make sure you hit that like button, support the channel, man. Let's get it. It's 11:11 on the East Coast, man. Make sure y'all put them thoughts in the atmosphere and manifest them things, man. They will rain down on you. Put the thoughts in the atmosphere. It's 11:11. Time to connect with the ethers. Let's get it.
The patterns of these types of reactions of people being informed of the unpopular truth stem from how a person lives their life or what they choose to deal with within their life. In other words, some people are just here to exist and fit in with crowds of people that deal in common, while another set group of people would deal in logic. That's the difference between being off code and on code. So just recently on Twitter, I called out this drifter by the stage name of Tariqnasheed for numerous reasons that I felt needed to be known. In one of my previous live streams, I informed my viewers that I do not want my name attached to this individual as if I agree with him or we are on the same page and are doing the exact same things. No. The reason being is due to him now dubbing himself as a race baiter, which is nothing but a troll, antagonizing and disrespecting random people on Twitter for entertainment and YouTube content, who he claims are immigrants of other countries from other continents. But they're actors.
So if you look at African immigrants, you look at the average household income is higher than the foolish black Americans.
Other countries from other continents. But they're actors.
So if you look at African immigrants, you look at the average household income is higher than the foolish black Americans.
So why do you have Boko Haram kidnapping whole villages in your homeland, sir?
Hey, young man, let me just direct you. Those Boko Haram guys are FBA terrorists sent to destroy the continent of Africa.
Zulu's Nigeria.
And that's in Nigeria. He's not Nigerian.
Oh, okay. So now we're picking and choosing which African nation is what. So that's what we're doing. So we're talking about different nations and ethnicities. We're a different nation and ethnicity as well. So what's superior? I want to know what's superior. And what is your culture, by the way? What exactly is your culture? Zimbabwean. Okay, what's Zimbabwean culture?
You mean Rhodesia?
First of all, yeah, I'm glad that you gave me a country that's not mine. So you can attack that country all you want. That's good stuff. But Tariq, right, they asked what my culture was. Young man, that's none of your big.
Do y'all hear this shit, man? That's crazy, man. Shout out to Dane for cooking up this heat, man. I love the rebuttal. It's actually a lengthy rebuttal. He goes into cute detail about Tariqnasheed. So I don't have no picks in this. I'm just playing both sides of the argument. You know what I'm saying? So we can deliberate and talk about it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all support the channel. Shout out to Copper Tone for the Cash Out donation. He said, out here, bros, keep putting in that fire. I'm going to keep putting in that fire for y'all. As long as y'all keep hitting that like button, thumbing up the video, and supporting the channel, hey, the information ain't going nowhere. We're going to keep the shit coming. And this is only half of the bill. We got a whole nother set of bills. The Yamassee, Black Yamassee Warriors, we're going to get into that. But the meat and potato, we're going to deal with Dane and the beef between Tariqnasheed. So let's get it, man. Hit that like button, support the channel, man. Let's go.
I'm glad that you gave me a country that's not mine. So you can attack that country all you want. That's good stuff. But Tariq, right, they asked.
No, it's not being messy, King Tudor. And this is public knowledge. These brothers are going back and forth off of public platforms. This video has over 122,000 views, and I believe Tariq has the same. So it's openly forum discussion for us to talk about. I'm just happen to be playing it on my platform, you guys.
What my culture was. Young man, that's none of your business, young man.
But you brought it up, sir.
He's South African, the rape capital of the world.
It's called criticism. It's called criticism. Public commentary is what this is.
He's not South African, guys. He's not from South Africa.
So basically, he's okay. A lot of people are ashamed.
You don't even want to claim it.
Yeah, if you're so proud of your culture, why are you so ashamed to claim it, sir?
Young man, no one is ashamed of claiming anything here, young man. Unlike you have nothing to claim, young man.
Well, I don't claim fleeing. I definitely don't claim that.
Tariq, you fled to a white suburb. Shut the fuck up.
Well, stop it, sir. There's no such thing as
white suburb, bud.
Stop it. So that's not fleeing, sir.
Make some money, cuz.
Sir, that's broke Sambo talk. That is broke Sambo talk, sir. That is broke Sambo talk. I'm trying to black
to a white suburb. No. Y'all need to get yourselves a McGriddle.
All of this is my land. I can live anywhere on my land I want to, sir.
Fuck, you own nothing in the mountain.
Yes, I do. Yes, we do.
Bro, the dater. This man owns Rikers. Okay, get it straight.
So I hear a lot of jealous tether talk from people who fled.
Who would be jealous of you? Let's go back to alcoholics.
Young man, I'm speaking from my country right now, so I don't know what you are talking about, okay?
This conversation right now that you're listening to, if y'all can hear me loud in the chat, please drop some fire emojis in the chat. The conversation is Tariqnasheed and a bunch of foreign Africans having a conversation. So this is what you're listening to right now. If you can hear everything loud and clear, drop them fire emojis. There's a lot of tether talk right now. Let's get it.
Sir, you're speaking from your taxi over in New York somewhere. You're not in your home country.
Young man, I'm in my home country, young man, okay? Unlike you, Tariqnasheed, you're even in your home country. You think America is yours. You are nothing, young man. Anyways, I'm going to let our African queen speak there. She has a hand out. Sharon, speak.
And this is my country, by the way, sir.
Tariq, shut the fuck up. It's not
no.
I don't know what Black Americans own here.
What do you own in the
Stop it. You don't own anything in your home. That's why you fled. I own more than you, and you fled.
And now, that's his business and his PR way of selling his book and having content on YouTube. But the issue I have is how he allowed his core following to slowly insert my name to enhance his credibility within these scripted bad acting disputes and conversations, as if I have an issue with immigrants or Africans for that matter, when I don't. His core following was constantly tagging my name with his name into these scripted bad acting performances when I have nothing to do with it, nor do I even want to be involved in something that has nothing to do with me or what I stand for in the first place.
Hey man, there's a commercial just popped up. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Thumb up the video, you guys. Let's get it. I need y'all to thumb up the video, man. We got 209 people in here. Let's try to get 300 people in here before the hour marker. Let's try to get 300 people in here, you guys. Let's get it.
First place. Years prior to all of this, I was informed by numerous people that Tariq decided to change his entire gimmick of being a pro-Black, Pan-African vlogger on YouTube into now starting his own political hashtag called FBA, which he copied directly from Yvette Carnell with her ADOS movement over some political disputes that they had with each other as partners, causing a falling out between them, and him branching into his own scam of things. Now, my issue with this was when he randomly decided to claim that he's now a Black Native American or Aboriginal, and that Black people were here before any immigrant arrived on these shores.
Yeah, that's Tariqnasheed listening in to these Aboriginal conversations. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you guys for pushing this Aboriginal information that we did not come from Africa, that we've been here, that our lineage is tied here, our genealogy is tied here, our historical family evidence and records are from here. We're not from no other place. So I'm cool with anybody pushing that, but give credit to where credit's due. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to A1, shout out to Big Aboriginal Power. We've been putting this shit in for a while, man.
This may sound familiar to most of you here, but then he also twisted the narrative and said that, yes, we are Aboriginal to America, but we're still
genetically African. Kill this nigga Dane. Kill this nigga Dane. Because I've been saying it. I just want somebody else to say it so y'all believe him. Now, when I say it, y'all don't give a fuck. But when Dane said it, y'all, go ahead, Dane. Tell this nigga what I've been saying.
This may sound familiar to most of you here, but then he also twisted the narrative.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, support the channel, man. Cash App tags going across the screen. Make sure y'all support the channel. You know what I mean? It's also at the bottom right of the screen by the grizzly bear.
And said that, yes, we are Aboriginal to America, but we are still all Africans from Africa that were brought to America by the white man on slave ships.
Right. Okay. And the third was, how many people do you think out of Black Americans have ties? You know, you could say a rough percentage or a majority or minority or small, whatever you feel will capture your answer. How many of us do you think are tied to, 100% or has, people tied to Indian versus people who are absent of any ancestry from Africa?
Right. I think now that number might be hard to quantify because, like we've been saying, there is no records and Black people could not keep records. It's my conjecture that I would say the majority of foundational Black Americans have African and Black Aboriginal bloodline in this country because we've been here so long. We've been here longer than any other group documented.
And I'm sure most of you noticed the contradiction there, which means that he has no idea what he's talking about, or he just doesn't care to be correct because his core following is indoctrinated anyway. So why not tell them anything that they want to hear, just as long as he gets paid off of their ignorance? And it's both, actually, because he watched my videos in order to write down the easiest things that he could repeat without having to do any research, in order to make it seem as if he knows more about the topic, and then literally act his way through into getting people to donate or buy whatever he's selling to them. I mean, he did show his true hidden colors by saying that he thinks Black people are dumb.
We're going to build a system that control all people of color. We're going to do this and do that. And then the people of color have fallen into that. So somebody had to be smart and somebody had to be dumb.
Yep.
And it seems to me that the people of color are the dumb one because, as you said, it's the white people who are making this happen, right?
I agree 100%.
And why not overcome being dumb rather than trying to stop the smart man from doing what he does?
All non-white people are too dumb to get smart.
Really?
Yeah.
And so those same people that he calls dumb are the same people supporting and funding his dreams and aspirations of becoming the biggest scam artist to ever infiltrate the so-called Black community. Now, some of you may recall him and others taking shots at me for proving what.
Yeah, man. Shout out to motherfuckers that's been waking up the people, man. I know I've been putting in this work. Dane used to actually come on my platform and put in the work and wake up the people over here too, man. So shout out to everybody that's putting in their work. I don't have no pics of any of this shit. I wish these brothers could hash it out for the greater good of so-called FBA brothers and Aboriginal brothers and sisters in America, man. We don't need to bicker and complaining socially, because if we ain't gonna be able to get it together socially, we're not gonna be able to get it together politically and when it comes to public counsel. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be arguing off a decision makings of who the leader. We're all leaders.
I recall him and others taking shots at me for proving with hard evidence that both Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner are fictional characters.
Shout out to my nigga Don P, man. It's good to see you in the chat, man. I ain't seen you in a while. Hope all is well with you, brother Don P.
Created by acts of Congress and their individual foreign and domestic authors. Multiple people would randomly ask these drifters like Tariq that dread that I'm not a Caucasian and that I prove to the world all claims made, how do they feel about working with Dane Calloway? And he decided to respond.
And one more thing before I hang up. Won't you and the brother Dane collab, bro? Y'all talk about the same thing?
No, that nigga's a clown. He's a clown. You know, let's just keep it real. No, man. This dude talking about, didn't he say some shit? Harriet Tubman didn't exist.
Oh shit, he killing Dane again. Hey man, this one on one. I gotta run this back a little bit. What'd he say? Hey, listen, by the way, I got a new channel, the Battle Rap Wizards Battle Rap channel is active. If y'all want to go subscribe to that channel, make sure you go to the description box and hit the link and subscribe to the new Battle Rap channel. We will be doing uploads of battle rap, interviews, and also other entertainment purpose and entertainment things that's going to be adventured on that platform. So make sure y'all go subscribe to the new channel, Battle Rap Wizards Rap League channel, man. The link is in the description box.
Decided to respond.
And one more thing before I hang up. Won't you and the brother Dane collab, bro? Y'all talk about the same thing?
No, that nigga's a clown. He's a clown. You know, let's just keep it real. No, man. This dude talking about, didn't he say some shit? Harriet Tubman didn't exist. She was made up. Do you believe that?
He said Harriet Tubman and the brother that's supposed to be a runaway slave. Neither one of them. Nat Turner. He said neither one.
Do you believe that?
I believe what was the narrative, brother. I ain't got no choice but to believe, because my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my other great-grandmother has always told me that they existed. You know what I mean? They said they never had anything. They never was told that they family were slaves.
No,
but,
that's not. No. Okay, no,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you. That's not the point. The point is this dude, this clown nigga talking about Harriet Tubman didn't exist and slavery really didn't exist. Just dumb shit. No, I'm not. No, you don't collaborate with trolls, man. Y'all stop that. When y'all hear something stupid, just acknowledge it's stupid. Y'all know niggas out here just be saying anything for YouTube clicks. That's not who you. We got serious business we doing over here, man. Let's get off that. Man, you need to hook up with this clown ass nigga. No, I don't. No. Come over here with that. That's offensive. No.
So I don't want to hook up with this clown ass nigga. He going in on Dane. Dane and listen, for those that's tuning in, this is Dane Calloway and Tariqnasheed's beef. I'm just happen to play some of the audio and stuff that they've been going back and forth with, and as a collective, we gonna break it down and give motivation to them brothers, man, that they need to come together and for the greater good of the whole, man.
We doing over here, man. Let's get off that. Man, you need to hook up with this clown ass nigga. No, I don't. No. Come over here with that. That's offensive. I was only talking about Harriet Tubman didn't exist and no. I'm not hooking up with nobody who's just saying dumb shit for YouTube clicks. No, I don't need to hook up with him.
So in attempt to disapprove my claims made and proved, I want you to notice how he didn't provide a drop of information that could possibly debunk the claims I've made still today. He just simply asked the guy, does he believe that? When it's not about what you may believe, it's about what you know based upon what you can actually prove. I believe those folks out there with big platforms are afraid to debate me concerning my claims made and proved, because they either watched my videos on this topic or purchased my book on this topic or both and saw all of the evidence that I presented and they're scared. So when this audio of his was sent to me, and since he decided to throw insults instead of educating the people listening as to why he knows that I am wrong and can prove it, but he didn't, I decided to respond to his insults in a professional manner. I actually pissed him off, of course, as I informed the people about why foundational Black Americans do not exist.
Hey, if y'all enjoying the build, man, please drop the fire emojis in the chat. Please drop the fire emojis in the chat. Let me know that y'all can hear everything loud and clear, that y'all enjoying the build. For those that want to support the channel for my time and content, please, the Cash App tags at the bottom right of the screen. Most important thing that you guys can do is share the live stream and hit the like button, you guys. Let's continue.
Yes. Oh, see you, everyone. Just wanted to have a conversation with you guys about a couple of things here. I just wanted to bring this up to let you guys know that, don't get distracted by certain things that you see. Because a lot of people are in it for different reasons, okay? A lot of them cannot regurgitate particular information that I even present to you guys because they're not really historians or they're not really researchers. They're in a totally different field and they're in it for the money. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, because they will switch up every 3 years in order to keep their crowd moving. But with me, of course, I've been stating the same things for quite some time now and been presenting a lot of factual information that you guys can go back and check up on, and which I highly recommend and always do so. I always tell you not to believe anything that I state. I want you to write it down and look it up for yourself. You are responsible in that sense. But yeah, I mean, the majority of the information that I present, a lot of people are banking on, which is a great thing. And then there are people that state that they don't listen to me and they turn right around and regurgitate verbatim, damn near, the information that I present. So I know they're listening to me, and it's hilarious because what they're trying to do is just overstep their boundaries and they can't answer particular questions. So they'll fall back on the so-called Black term. And there's multiple different terms that I disagree with, and I've been telling you guys this for quite some time. The reason why I disagree with certain people that you see out there, especially those that are creating this thing called foundational Black America, there's no such thing. Number one, the term Black wasn't even utilized amongst our own people until the 1960s. So that's a brand new term. That has nothing to do with how America was founded. Straight up. Like, our people were not referring to ourselves as Black people during the time of founding or with creating America. Okay. There's a lot of terminology that I do not like using. Okay. And I keep telling you guys this because it doesn't represent us. What it does represent, like when you use terms like Black, what it does represent is that you're being comfortable with allowing strangers to call you whatever they want to call you. And some of you guys would turn your nose up at that statement and say, well, I mean, we've been saying it for years now. What does it matter, Dane? That matters a great deal. That matters a great deal because everybody else, every other class or race, whatever one you want to use, will be looking at us as if, he or she doesn't even know who they are, what they want to be, and anything. Like, you just allowing a stranger to dictate what you are. And what is Black? What is that? Yeah, we have a culture. We didn't just create this culture. The culture was already here prior to our people agreeing with calling each other Black, just allowing a stranger to do that. We had everything already, the legacies, the cultures, the languages. So we still going to latch on to something a stranger called us? See, and what I'm trying to get people to understand is the way it's represented in law and the way it's represented by definition is stating that it's non-existent right now.
So I want to get to another set of audio where Dane Calloway actually responds to Tariqnasheed. Let's get that going right now. I don't want to wait any longer. Let's get it.
Did you see them get that bone from that particular area?
Yes, it was shown on the History Channel.
It was shown on.
Please everybody in the chat. Look what the hell they did. Look at this. Bullshit. These are not the people that was standing outside that school.
Skip it up a little bit.
Fake so bad, and he want to be attached to everybody else. Look, he's selling a red, white, and blue, red, and white flag on his little website with a whole bunch of gibberish on it, right? But hold on. When he start his live streams, it's a red flag. Hold on. When he start his live streams, it's a red.
Let me get this is Dane Calloway directly responding to Tariqnasheed. This is not in an edited video. This is in a live platform forum. Shout out to Dane Calloway. Shout out to Tariqnasheed, man. Shout out to both of them. Hopefully y'all brothers can get it together. Shout out to Burham Lynch. He sent the Cash App donation. He said, we are responsible for the truth and who speaks and who is speak and who is speak or who speaks. So yeah, man, you absolutely right. We are responsible for the truth, and that's why we regulate on what is truth. We're able to talk about it, and as a collective, no one's more important above the collective. No one person is set up above us as the collective. So as the collective, we got the right to respond and make sure that truth is being distributed and who is the main factor of speaking on this. And this is your brother, Big Aboriginal Power, man. Y'all already know I'm the voice of the Aborigines. Yeah, it may be other platforms that's bigger, but I'm the voice of the Aborigines, man. So let's continue this fucking live stream. Let's get it, y'all.
Practice Muslim, Islam. We didn't practice none of that over here.
None of it.
That's all foreign.
Spiritual.
And look, you can tell that he one of them. He want to be fake. He's fake so bad, and he want to be attached to everybody else. Look, he's selling a red, white, and blue, red, and white flag on his little website with a whole bunch of gibberish on it, right? But hold on. When he start his live streams, it's a red flag. Hold on. When he start his live streams, it's a red flag. Listen to that. That's a double meaning. When he start his live streams, it's a red flag. That's a double meaning. The last time we knew of a red flag was what? People in North Africa, Morocco, right? That's one. Two, another way we can look at a red flag is what? Fraud.
Facts.
He don't want to see me educationally. He don't want to see me intellectually. That guy is not who he say he is at all. Clearly. And then he got the nerve and then he called himself out on Twitter. He said that I'm buying views. That got to be what you doing.
Oh shit, who's buying views? See, listen, man, that's why I said we got to keep this shit real. That's why Big Aboriginal Power channel is one of the most organic channels, man. I started off with no social media, just the YouTube with 300 subscribers. Look where we at now by putting out this information, man. We had almost 11,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell, man. Shout out to Dane. Shout out to motherfucking Tariqnasheed. Y'all need to work this beef out. I'm just here to so we can talk about it, man. Let's finish listening up to this bickering and griping back and forth, and then we're gonna break it down together, man. Let's get it.
That got to be real talk. If I ask my folks at YouTube to find out,
shout out to Sister Betty for hosting this fire conversation.
If he buying views, I could find out quick. But I wasn't trying to put that type of heat on him. But I can find out if he buying views, and they're gonna bring his views down quick. I'm gonna tell you why. Because, and this another thing. His channel was at 100 and something thousand subscribers, right? I'm talking about what? 100 and something thousand. I'm way beyond that. And I told him that on Twitter. He told us nobody know me. I'm like, okay, if you say so, I dare you. I dare you, Marcus. I'm gonna tell you what your mama call you by what your mother call you and your father. Marcus. That's your real name. What you hiding?
Only thing is, I don't like when Dane does this. Dane's calls out somebody's government name as if it means anything. He did it to me. Or, such and such, Denzel. Bitch, everybody know my name, Denzel. Bitch, they call me Zelly, nigga. What is you talking about? Stupid ass nigga. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I just hate when niggas do that little weak shit. It's like some police ass shit.
What you hiding up under? And I called him out on. I said this on Twitter. I said I'm not here with a stage name. You got the stage name. Just like I called Joe Brown out on. James Brown. That's his real name. Why these people got to use stage names? Because they are entertainers. Clearly. Clearly. They got something to hide. I'm talking about this. He must have legally changed his name from Marcus Sanders to Tariqnasheed.
Yeah.
But when a person do that, it's either for religious beliefs, which it could be for him, or he got something to hide. What you hiding? Yeah. What type of history are you hiding? But yet, all he wants you to know him for is his pimping Mackin books and what? And he turn around and you want y'all.
And that's the thing. It's like your name is not Dane Calloway for real. You know what I'm saying? Your name is a Maximilian Calloway. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't calling out your government. It don't matter what your government is. We respect your title that you go by. So if you want to go by Dane Calloway, that's fine. If motherfucker want to go by Tariqnasheed, that's fine. When he can be Marcus Sanders, what his mama call him. You could be Maximilian Calloway, what your mother called. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't matter.
Own him up as a leader? A leader? This what you call leader? Y'all got to be out of your mind. Seriously. But at the same time, they don't want no smoke with real ones like me at all.
I don't even know his ass like that at all. I don't know him at all. Really, I really don't. But I seen.
No, it's not Uncle. I've already proved that and debunked it. We got his actual name. We got his actual Instagram. We got the old toodles. We got everything, bro. You might. I'm just not being. I'm non-biased in this conversation. I don't have a pick in it. Yeah, his name is a Maximilian Callaway. That's a fact, and his child name is a Maximilian Callaway Jr. So,
I do watch Michi X videos. She flipped up. Oh,
Shout out to Michi X.
Oh my God, she flipped the script.
Blue, that is true. A lot of his information did come from Tribe Up. Shout out to Tribe Up, Chief Holiday, and Ty Data, man. Shout out to y'all.
I can't even. I watched it over and over, and she went raw. She went raw. She very real. I like her. I really do. I like her. She's fucking real. Michi's the truth.
Marcus,
and
how can you take that guy serious? Look,
she helped him.
Yeah, because he came from there. It was him, Michi X. Apparently, this is what I got based off of my research. It was him, Michi X, Yvette Carnell, and that other guy that be with Yvette Carnell. They all were in on that ADOS movement. If I may be wrong about that, but I know for a fact that Tariq was with the ADOS before he created.
Yes, matter of fact, if y'all go to my channel, you'll see one of the biggest views on my channel. Got almost 50,000 views. We're talking about the forming of ADOS and the reparations conversation. So this was before ADOS actually was formed, before FBA was actually formed. We was already having this conversation, and exactly on that bill, Dane Calloway, Hawk School, and the brother Antonionist one enlightened us on that conversation as well. Shout out to them brothers for participating in this. Listen, Big Al been around putting in work for a while, man. I need y'all to hit the like button and support the channel, man. If y'all want to support the channel, Cash App tags at the bottom right of the screen, man, by the Grizzly Bird. Let's continue this live stream.
Or he created FBA.
Wow.
With Yvette Carnell. They all were in on that ADOS movement. If I may be wrong about that, but I know for a fact that Tariq was with the ADOS before he created FBA.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. No. Clearly, like that. Now that's something I can say. I don't know about Michi X, but I know Tariq was with Yvette Carnell and they had a falling out, and that's when he created FBA. Like he basically copycatted, hands down. He basically copied, like how he do everything else. He copycat and hope that it stick, and then he switch it up when it fall off. He switch it up. He switch it up.
I would love to get some of y'all opinions on this conversation. Maybe Don P, maybe Kel can come on and we can break down some of this information from both sides, man. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just here to play the information as it's been put out in the public forum, man. This is Big Aboriginal Power, and this is the voice of the streets, man. Make the voice of the Aborigines, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's continue.
A year or two from now, he gonna be something else. He probably gonna be back to fake macking. Like, and then on top of that, I got the video. Listen to this. I got the videos of this guy teaching his so-called Mac skills to white people. I'm talking about on camera. I swear to God. Matter of fact, it's an HBO special of this guy.
Wait, back up.
Listen. He's sitting down. It's almost like these white folks are interviewing him. Okay? And they asking him questions about like how to be a pickup artist and a Mac. And he being so stupid and everything, but he's in character, by the way. He teaching these white, and not one person to cut, all white folks. But then he turned right around and tell you today that it's white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. Man, listen, man, he's a cold, I swear to God, he's a fraud. On everything I love, he's a fraud. Hands down.
Them people gonna wake up. Them people gonna get tired of his shit. They're gonna wake up,
man,
and be like, "Yo, wait."
Listen, like I said, I'm not here to be biased, but you know, Tariqnasheed has put in work. He has put in the work, man. The guy has bailed countless amount of Negroes out of jail without him even knowing them. He's paid for funerals. He's you know what I mean? He didn't help that. I'm not here to take away from anything anybody does. This is they beef and they bickering. Hopefully these brothers can come together, because like I said, the voice of the Aborigines is me, Big Aboriginal Power. And the voice of the Aborigines said, y'all niggas need to quit that bickering and come together for the better whole, man. Imagine if y'all both could bring y'all energies inside together and bring this information out about what's going on in America, man. This is what this shit is all about, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power, man. The voice of the streets. It's a beautiful time to be an Aborigine. Damn, it feels good to be an Aborigine, man. Let's go.
Man. And be like, yo, wait, okay, now I want reality.
Nah, man. As a matter of fact, nah, don't let his people wait. No, let his little fans be his little fans. We do not need them. They in the way. Let him stay there. Let him stay there so he can make his little money. He do got a family to feed. Let them be there. We don't need them. FBA is fake black activists, because that's what he is. He's not even an activist. He's fake though. He's fake though.
I don't think nobody should diss nobody movement, because we won't want nobody dissing the Aboriginal movement. So I'm not here to diss FBA. Shout out to the FBA brothers and sisters, and shout out to the Aboriginal brothers and sisters, man.
Really, Marcus is a joke. He's a joke.
Crazy.
How you not want to be known by your real name? Like, what do you? I mean, like, come on, bro. Why you switching your stuff to a Muslim name?
What you mean? Why they don't want to go by their same name? Same reason Sister Betty is not her real name. The real reason your name is not Dane. The real reason my name is not Aboriginal Power. Same reason A1 want to go by A1, nigga. We have titles. We don't have to go by a name that the government know us by. We're not government agents.
You hiding? What are you hiding, Marcus?
Marcus.
And he can't lie, because I got proof of that. He can't lie. And he better, I swear to God, I swear to God, go just like how he did me. Everybody tag him. Send this video to him. Send this video to him. I dare him to debate.
Matter of fact, I want y'all to do that. I want y'all to share the live stream on Instagram, Twitter. As y'all do it, tag in Tariqnasheed. Tag Tariqnasheed to see how he react. Shout out to MT Soul for the Cash Out donation, and shout out to Enots for the Cash Out donation. It says, stop sneak watching and hit the like button. That's what my brother Enoch said. Shout out to the Cash Out donation. He said, stop sneak watching and hit that like button. You know what that means, y'all? That means hit that like button. If y'all want to hit the like button, let me know. I ain't got to play the live stream. We got 260 people in here. We should have 250 likes in here already. I don't want to have to keep telling y'all to hit the like. Y'all grown as hell. Hit that like button. Support the channel, man. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power, man. Let's continue. Let's continue, man.
Me.
I don't know him all that well, but before I, knew him, like, I still don't know him personally, but when I used to see him, I really, really, literally thought that he was the dude from Kid and Play.
What dude from?
The tall, brown skin.
Oh, the tall guy? Nah.
Yeah,
what?
Remember there was.
Hold on. I know who you talking about. Oh, yeah. Nah.
He thought his ass was play.
You know what it is? Mark, but I want y'all to understand. Even when he was young, look at Marcus's shape up. I swear to God, this nigga had money. But look at his shape up. Why is his shape up shaped like the Nike sign? And each and every, I'm talking about video, picture, his shape up just go crooked, just like the Nike sign. Whoop, the Nike swoosh.
If you're new to the channel, man, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell for all your latest updates. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. I want to say peace and blessings to everybody that's tuning into the live stream that is typing in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's not typing in the chat. Make sure y'all thumb up the video. I appreciate all the support. This is the Wake and Bake Show. This is the Grand Rising Show. Peace and blessings to everybody. Let me know what y'all smoking on and where y'all at this Grand Rising as y'all come into the live stream. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's continue. Shout out to my brother Hawk School in the chat.
Yeah, I thought he was the guy all this time.
He need to fire his barber.
See this one.
Right.
This is who I thought he was.
Right after that. Look at his shape up. Right after that. Look at his shape up.
Are they the same people or no?
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
That ain't him at all.
How much I know him. I really thought that this is who he was. in real life. So that's not Tariqnasheed.
That's not Marcus.
Okay. All right.
That's not him.
I thought that's who he was. See, I don't know, dude, but I don't know.
I don't have any picks in this fight, man. I don't advise you guys to take picks. Only picks you should be taking pick for is the Aboriginal community. And nobody speaks more than the collective. No one person is above the collective. We are the Aborigine FBA community, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. When your own OG is calling you out for the fraud that you committing, bruh, that's a big deal, bruh. Hey, y'all send this live stream into the Instagram and to Twitter. At me, tag me in it. Tag Tariqnasheed, man. Post this shit, screenshot it, share it to him. That's a big deal.
Damn.
Your own OG, next door neighbor. The one that taught you the Mac that you claim you know, buddy. That you claim you know.
I'm done.
With a Muslim name, bro. How you going? Why? Why you want to hide your identity? For what? And you act like that can't be pulled up. And that same jurisdiction that you from. You ain't got to be FBA. It's just a title. You can replace the B with another A. You can be FAA, Foundational Aboriginal America. It doesn't matter. We're all the same people in the same boat. We got to stop playing these stupid semantics because that's what causes arguments and complaining and bickering. We're here to collectively unify and build and work with harmony with all our brothers and sisters. And that's coming from the voice of the Aborigines, man. Big Aboriginal power. You understand me? Let's get it, man. And you ain't from California. We all know that. Come on, bro.
Google. I want to Google Marcus Sanders. I want to see what I find. That's
you got
a hot mess.
It ain't Google. Google's not reliable and stuff like that. Like you gotta dig deep.
Oh,
you gotta dig deep
right now.
It ain't no quick pop up. I'm gonna tell you that. But I mean, I got what I need to prove that he's Marcus Sanders.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. I got something. Oh, snap. When I typed in this is what I got. I'm sharing the screen. Fair use. I'm just sharing.
Hold on. Wait. Make sure that it's not nothing that he could use to hit you with defamation of character. He petty like that. Just whatever it is, just make sure it's not.
This is on Google.
I mean, still, because he's going to watch this. He's going to watch this.
Well, maybe I shouldn't share it, but.
So what is it? What is it first?
It's a bunch of publications. Tariq's Truth on Twitter, Miski. When I type that in, this is what pulled up.
Nah, hold up, Sister Betty. Nah, don't put it up because he got money. He got enough money to do a defamation lawsuit. Don't do it. That's me protecting, okay? Because I know what's up. I know what's up.
Okay.
Nah, because I don't know what that is, but hold up. Don't show it.
Oh, okay.
Don't show because he definitely about to watch this. Clearly.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, his folks watching. I can tell his folks watching.
Well, they can watch all the fuck they want. This is my channel. All right,
so listen, I'm gonna end that right there, man. Y'all can go catch the beef between them two, man. That's the end of that. I'm gonna take a quick 60-second break and we can get into the other half of the information, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. Be back in 60 seconds, y'all. Hit that like button.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
On the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, highway ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on, got you back.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Peace and blessings. I want to say peace and blessings to all the American Aborigines that's tuning in. Make sure y'all smash that like button, thumb up the video, and support the channel, man. Cash out tags at the bottom right of the screen, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Shout out to my brother, my elder, Armani Bay, man. Shout out to my brother Armani Bay, man. I do want to get into the other half of the live stream dialogue. I know y'all see what's going on. I want to get into the true history of the Aboriginals of America, the Yamassee Nation, which is a Negro tribe. We're going to get into that information. I have some audio pertaining to that right now. So this is the other half of the video. So let's get right into it, man. Hit that like button. Let's get straight into the information. Let's go.
We just say dark skin, dark brown. But again, comments is the fuel to the machine. So we got a couple of comments, and we're going to address one. And that's that term copper colored. Right, the term copper color, what does it really mean? So what we're going to do is show it in context. Now, of course, if you go back to the archives, right, we got a piece in which we talked about copper color. Right, we talked about it in detail. It just means light skin. It's not nothing really fancy. It just means light skin. So it's a term that come out of Limey land. It comes out of London, Liverpool, England, UK, whatever you want to call that place, that area, that's where that term came from. And they didn't have the science necessarily to break down shades like we do today. So we're able to say dark skin, dark brown, light skin, or we'll say light, bright, damn near white. So what we're going to do is show you a context in which it was used in. So maybe that'll bring more clarity to that particular word. Today's source, though, we're going to use is called The Human Species, right? It's by Armand de Cortefagaz, 1879, London, right? This is what this publication come out of. You'll notice on this platform that oftentimes we use sources from the 17th century, 18th, and 19th century. So all the time, I never get an answer. The reason why I do that is because some people got this idea that some writings and documents was used to confuse you or mislead you. And that can be true, right? But when you use that in the context of this literature was written to confuse you, then that had to be during the time that you was able to read. Because nobody's going to write nothing to confuse you. You couldn't even read by law. Like this wasn't even geared towards you. You didn't get a chance to read later. So I often encourage, if you want to, get down to the root of knowledge, start reading the material that was printed and produced and published when our people was not allowed to read. Read that first, especially when you start talking about Aboriginals and things of this nature, because see, in the 20th century and the 21st century, it's a narrative already written that all Black folks come from Africa. And we know Africa is the home of the largest body of Black people on the planet. We understand that. We're okay with that. But we also understand that different continents have Black folks on them as well. So it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird. Like you get these Afrocentric cats, right? And they just be like, everywhere you point at on the map, you say, oh, look, there go China. And they say, you know what? Really, Black folks were the first one there. Africans was the first one in China. And then you can say, well, look at Australia.
Hey, man, we about to get into this Black Indian Aboriginal information, man. So if y'all fell in the bill, please drop some fire emojis. Hey, shout out to TT Portier. Hey, this is going to be one of the fire halves of the bill. I want y'all to hit the like button and share the live stream. I need y'all to support the channel if y'all want me to continue this. We just getting started with it. Let's get it, y'all.
You say, yo, you know what? Africans was the first one to Australia. Say, well, damn. Look at Europe. You know what? If you do the science, Africans was the first people in Europe before white folk got there. Then you say, look at the Americas. And then they get quiet. You hear like the crickets.
Hey, somebody just hit me on the Instagram like, why don't I use PayPal? I tell y'all earlier this week, the PayPal information is ticking across the bottom of the screen. Big Aboriginal Power, one word, is the PayPal information. Make sure y'all support the channel.
They figured out a way to put Africans all over the planet. It was already here. And then many of our people was brought here. A whole lot of us over here, bro. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that, how many of our people was already here. And then many of our people was brought here also from Africa. So we're going to talk about everything for the most part, right? But yeah, going back to the reason why I use old sources is because that's why, right? Nobody's made this up to pull something over your head. You see what I'm saying? And again, I'm still asking the question, when did Black folks get the ability or legality to be able to read, right? And then after we got that right, what was our people reading, right? And not only that, this publication comes out of London. So I can't see these folks saying, okay, one day this will get in the hand of a Texan or California or somebody from New Mexico or Michigan or Florida or whatever. They're talking to each other, right? This is from one writer writing to his own people from Europe. And then we just so happen to have it, and we're going to read it today, right? We're going to use it as a source, right? And again, the name of the book is The Human Species. Make sure you screenshot it. 1879 London, right? We're going to go right down to the page. We're going to begin at 199, right? Last paragraph, 199. But we're going to pick up on 200, right? So let's pull that up real quick. All right, and we got it pulled up. Last paragraph, page 199, and it says the equatorial current of the Atlantic opens a similar route leading from Africa to America. And there are some evidences, rare it is true, showing that wrecks have been carried in this direction. It is possible, therefore, that the same may have happened to man. Okay, so what the writer is talking about at this point is that they're looking at the migration of the human family, right? Because what's really going on is the European is trying to figure out, where did the people in the Americas come from? I'm talking about all of the Americas, North and South and Central, right? Because in his mind, you know, it kind of goes biblical, right? They come from this position of Noah's Ark, and that there was a period where the entire world was empty. And you get off the Noah's Ark, and this ark could have, it says Turkey now, they use Turkey now, but just in general, life started in a European's mind in Saudi or Africa or the Middle East or India somewhere, and it migrated all over the planet, right? So he's watching currents, right? Ocean currents. And he's noticing that there's a current which becomes a trade route, right? From Asia to California. So much so that, you know, the Asians can throw trash out in the Pacific Ocean and it'll find its way to California, right? That becomes a current, that becomes a trade route.
Well, yeah, he's under the perception that all Europeans that came over here are white people. That's obviously his understanding, which he's totally incorrect. But we're gonna break this thing down. We're gonna let the brother keep building, man. Hit that like button, support the channel, man. Support the channel. Share the live stream on all your social media outlets. You understand me? It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. Make sure you support the channel.
He also noticed, when I say he, I'm talking about the Europeans, they also know.
Don't let my brother Tayshawn be the only one to support the channel too, man. Make sure y'all support the channel.
But it's the same thing in Africa. There's a current that's moving. It's a current which becomes a trade route. And that current goes from Africa to the Americas. Now, why are they pointing out these trade routes? Because they see people in the Americas that look like Africans, and they're trying to figure out, okay, these guys must have came over on the ship. The only thing is, the black folks that they seen in the Americas, they have no recollection.
This is not a YouTube video, by the way. You cannot find this information on YouTube. This is not on YouTube.
Of a place called
Africa
podcast that they came from, or any landmass on the other side of the sea. You see what I'm saying? They don't have that, right? Let's go to page 200. We should not therefore be surprised at finding in the New World representatives of races which seem to belong originally to the Old World. We shall easily understand the multiplicity of American races, which is perhaps still contested by some of Morton's followers, but firmly established in the opinion of every unprejudiced person by the testimony of Humboldt and Aubigny's classical work on La Hombre Américaine. So let's stop there. Now, there was a time where prejudiced writers would just say, no, it's impossible. Black people couldn't be in America. They got to come from Africa. And at this time, this writer in the 19th century is saying the unprejudiced writers, they see the facts for what it is. Black folks was in the Americas. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm letting you guys know right up the top. Yes, there was Black folks in the Americas before the slave trade, before, right? Columbus even, quote unquote, discovered this place. And depending on which century you get your writings from, they're going to talk about that. But it's not going to be in the 20th century and the 21st century. That's not like there are people that's trying to lie to you, right? Some of that could be true, but that's just the universal theme at this time, because the hub of Black folks is Africa. That's the reality. So they're like, yo, you got to come out this hub some way, somehow. It has to be this way, but in reality, it does not really have to be that way, if that makes sense, right? Let's go down to the second paragraph. It says, Black populations have been found in America in very small numbers only and as isolated tribes in the midst of very different nations. We're going to come back to that. That's important, right? Such are the Shirayas of Brazil, the Black Caribbees of St. Vincent in the Gulf of Mexico, the Yamassee of Florida. We don't say Yamassee anymore. We say the Yamassee tribe, right? The dark complexion Californians, who are perhaps the dark men mentioned in Keith's traditions and by some old Spanish adventures. Now we got to build on the second paragraph. Black populations have been found in America in very small numbers only and as isolated tribes in the midst of very different nations. Okay, so on Real Black Consciousness Forum podcast, what do we always say? The Black Aboriginals found on the West was in Central America, South America, and the islands, right? When it comes to the territory of the United States, we see California, there's pockets, and Florida, there's pockets, right? We're not looking for no Black Aboriginals out of Quebec and Michigan and Montana and Wisconsin. That's not so, right? It's not this thing that 50 million Black Americans were really indigenous and they were somehow confused through the school system and tricked out of this spot, bop, bop, bop. You know, we heard the song and dance, right? Right? That's hogwash. But now we have to come back to reality now, right? Black populations were found, small isolated numbers in the midst of different nations, meaning that when you see these quote unquote Mongolian style, right, or darker brown shaded Indians, right, like in the Amazon or the Mayans, just know there was pockets of Black folks that lived amongst these nations. Now they just didn't disappear. What happened to them? Hold on. Let's back up a little. Let's back up a second. Now, did they?
Hey, come on, y'all. We got 257 people in here. Can we get up to 250 likes? Can we get up to 250 likes? This is the Real Aboriginal Conscious Forum. This is who's speaking. And by the way, this live stream that you're hearing, this audio, is not on YouTube. This is exclusive audio. You won't even be able to find it on YouTube. So, hey, man, hit that like button, support the channel. I'll be bringing heat for y'all, man. Y'all don't even appreciate it. I might not even go live tomorrow. Enjoy this build. I've been bringing heat. You don't even appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man, that do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for tapping in.
Never teach you that in school. We went to all these schooling in America. We are the most educated, especially our women, the most educated people on the face of what we call the United States, right? Have you ever heard of such? Have you ever heard that there were any Black folks already here? Nobody never heard of that. Now, middle school, right? Now, high school, you saved up some money, you ran down south, you went to an HBCU. When you got to the HBCU, the historically Black college, right? When you got down there, did they tell you that there were Black folks already here? They surely, if any institution is going to let you know that, it should be HBCUs. No, you don't come out knowing that there was Black Aboriginals. You come out being a Greek. You a Kappa and everything. You barking and all this, but you don't even know after coming out of a historically Black institution, Black folks was in America.
Appreciate it, Christopher. I appreciate you, gang. I'm glad one person appreciate the time and content that I put up.
How could you?
Shout out to Jaguar Cloud. Shout out to Jaguar Cloud.
I know that. Right? Shout out to the HBCUs. I ain't tripping. My son, you know, he's a student at the HBCU, so I'm just, you know, we're poking a little fun, but yeah. The truth of the matter is, though, we never heard this information before. You know why? Because 20th century and 21st century writers is not giving it to you. They're going off the universal narrative. They're looking at the hub. They're looking at Africa. And that's okay, because I understand you got your Wakanda, your helmet and everything. You turn into the Black Panther every.
Hey, Hawk, I love y'all too, Hawk. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing but love. You know what I mean? I do this shit for the Aboriginal community, man. Been doing this shit for years with no nothing. Just coming out, dropping heat, years and years, thousands of hours worth of information. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I love y'all niggas. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Well, fitting.
It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power, man, the voice of the Aborigines, man. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, y'all. Let's get it. Let's try to get 300 people in here.
You got 5 or 6 dashikis in the closet. But nobody never told you there's a lot of people with your paint job was already here, right? And we're going to go back over where the writers, they already know that these people are at, right? Small pockets in different nations, they say. Right? The Shiraz in Brazil, right? The Black Caribbeans of St. Vincent in the Gulf of Mexico. Do you know who they're really talking about? The Garifuni people, right? So you can go to the archives, Real Black Consciousness One podcast. We talk about it and we say the Garifunis are Black Aboriginals. We show and prove, right? But if you know, we speak a lot of times with these Google scholars. And what they do, they Google what we say to see if we're right or wrong. And then they say, no, you know what?
Let's put up 50 more likes, according to Armani Bay. Let's put up 50 more likes. Let's try to get 50 more likes in the building, man. It's free. Don't cost a fucking dime. Hit that like button, y'all. Support the channel, man. I just need to get these likes up. I need y'all to share the live stream, man. Support the channel, man. Support the movement. Cash out tags at the bottom right of the screen. At the bottom of the screen is the share button. You know what I mean? Do all that.
BJ, yo, check this out, B. Check this out. Black Aboriginals. We show and prove. Right? But if you know, we speak a lot of times with these Google scholars. And what they do, they Google what we say to see if we're right or wrong. Just one podcast. We talk about it.
Shout out to a person who just donated. They want to stay anonymous. They don't want their name to be taught. So appreciate this the cash out donation. If you want to donate and stay anonymous, just cash out and type in the cash out information anonymous for anonymous. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the movement, man. Shout out to everybody. Let's get it.
We say the Garifunis are Black Aboriginals. We show and prove, right? But if you know, we speak a lot of times with these Google scholars. And what they do, they Google what we say to see if we're right or wrong. And then they say, no, you know what, VJ? Yo, check this out, V. Check this out. I researched it. I mean, they just Google searched it. And they say, man, you know, the Garifuni came from a tribe in Africa, right? So they'll challenge me, but they won't challenge Google, right? They're not challenging Google. And to them, I say this, you know, the Garifuni people, if you notice, they mix up the dates. They say that.
Shout out to my brother Aboriginal TV in the chat. If you ain't subscribed to Aboriginal TV, make sure y'all run over there and subscribe to Aboriginal TV, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Please share the live stream on all your social media outlets. If you do, tag me. If you share it on Instagram, at me at big_Aboriginal_power. If you go to Twitter, at me at Power Aboriginal. You understand me? Let's get it.
These people came over on a slave ship from West Africa, and the slave ship crashed in 1635, or the slave ship crashed in 1675 or 85. They mix up the dates. That's number one. That's the first thing they do. Number two is that, you know, let's go back. We looked at a story from Alex Haley. Alex Haley told us about roots. Now, later we learned that Alex Haley stole the story. Right? His whole thing is plagiarized. He had to pay a half a ticket, right, for the fine. Nevertheless, they show us these stories when these Africans, they're on the slave ship, they're chained up, hands and feet now, right? So they want us to believe that the Garifuni people was coming over on a slave vessel and it crashed. And somehow this crash killed all the devils that was over the ship, right? The captains, the crew, everything, right? They somehow died. And the crash was so violent that it must have shook the chains off the feet and the hands of this vessel, right? And then they want us to believe that the people was able to get off the ship and create a new language in less than 100 years, right? So because they're telling us they're from another tribe in West Africa. See, but the problem is the tribe that they supposedly come from, they don't speak the same language. They don't even have similarities in language, meaning the word that they have for mom is not the same, or dad, or son, or daughter is not the same. The word that they have for God is not the same. It's all different. So where did they pick up this new language from? Because they were isolated on the island, right? I give an example. If you give 600 guys, right? 600 guys, 600 girls from Detroit. You take all 1,200 of us and you throw us on the island in the Pacific Ocean somewhere. And you come back 200 years later, we're still going to speak English. On the island, we're not going to learn no new language. Less than 100 years? No, it's not happening. But they expect us to believe this about the Garifunis. No, it doesn't make sense. And if you look at the Garifuni history, so much so that, watch this, they tell us that there was a slave vessel that crashed in St. Vincent. But the Garifuni people themselves knew how to travel to Florida. They knew how to travel to the surrounding islands. How did you know those islands was there? You didn't come up.
That's a good question, man. While we get into the rest of this bill, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button. I'm gonna take a quick 60-second break to give everybody enough time to share the live stream, hit the like button, and support the channel. We'll be back in 60 seconds, y'all.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hopefully everybody had enough time to hit that like button, share the live stream. Let's continue off with the information.
A slave vessel that crashed in St. Vincent. But the Garifuni people themselves knew how to travel to Florida. They knew how to travel to the surrounding islands. How did you know those islands was there? You didn't come off the slave ship with a telescope. How did you know they was there? Then they say, when there was a war going on with the Garifuni and European powers, they was able to escape one island and go to the next one. Hey man, these islands is 25, 30 miles apart. Nobody just swimming in it doesn't make sense. Right? So we have to understand, right? Many of us that call themselves African American, we have to understand this as well. When you see this African title thrown on people in the Caribbean, thrown on people in Central America, South America, it's just labeled, just put on them. Most often than not, that's over land rights, because these folks, we all have the same paint job. We're just dark brown people, right? Because we're dark brown people, they'll throw African on you, so you have no real rights to the land, if that makes sense. Because he's from Europe, right? He knows he's from Europe, he doesn't hide it. But if he tells you you're from Africa and everybody else that look like you're from Africa, when he begins to take land, you feel like you have no rights to the land because you're not here. It's really somebody else's land, and we took it from them, and we brought you over, so you don't really have no rights to the land, like we don't have the rights to the land. He kind of played a guilt trip on us. But we have to come to the understanding right now. Is there so much information down there? No. There were many of us that was already here, right? So again, here on Real Black Contents Forum Podcast, we talk about Central America, South America, the islands, right? When they caught him in St. Vincent, they moved into where? They moved into Central America. But again, black folks is already there too. And it's a pattern. Europeans always want to move you to where other black folks is at. So typically on this platform, I always talk about what the Abraham Lincoln story, where he wanted to expel the blacks out of the United States. He didn't want to just, man, it's so many countries in the world. He could have just picked any country. But what countries did he pick? Central America, South America, the islands, and Africa. Why though? Why not Canada? Why not Canada? Why not go back to Limey Land? Hang out in Europe. You might like it there. Why not China? Like, why? Because he was going to send us, I'm talking about Abraham Lincoln, back to what black folks is already at. I use the same examples all the time. Sometimes you got to drill at home. I don't use no new examples. I use the same sources. You have to drill at home, right? So look, we're going back to the document, right? St. Vincent, that's the Garifuni people, right? Then he says what? The Yamassee of Florida, which we call the Yamassee tribe. Now, this is the territory that we call the United States. Did you know that writers, all writers, 17th, 18th, 19th century, all was in agreement that there were black folks in the Americas? But you never heard of that before. Why? What happened to these people? They didn't just disappear. The Garifuni people are not going nowhere. They're still in New York. They're still in Florida. They're still in the islands. They're still in California. They still know their language. They still know their language. When they came in contact with the Garifuni people on the islands of St. Vincent, there was a war because the Garifuni people said, yo, don't mix us up with the Africans because the way you're treating them, that's not us. We ain't going for that. And after they had a war, the Garifuni made a deal to go elsewhere for land, right? They went to Honduras. Many of them went to Honduras. And even in Honduras, they have their own language, right? So even you got a brother that come along as brilliant as Dr. Sebi come along, and he know how to use all of these herbs to heal people and things of this nature. Where do you think he learned that from? You can't get nobody from he can't have a West African legacy and come over here and he have generations of people where he understand. No, in order for you to start making herbs and roots and shit, them folks got to be from that land already. They already got to be there. He was from Honduras. This is the same place where the Garifuni people are from, but they getting that African label slapped on them, right? And on another conversation, we did an article about that, or I should say, we read an article about that because it's a fight for land grab now. So they got to put the African label on them. And a lot of those Garifuni people are resisting the African label. Like, no, we was always here, right? Well, let's go back. Let's go back to it. It's a lot we can get out of this. The Yamassee tribe in Florida, which they're really not from Florida, but I can't say, well, I take that back. They are from Florida. We call it Florida today, right? They were from the area right around Georgia, though, which back in the day was Florida. And then they were moved down to what we call today Florida, right? But did you know there were a pocket, a group, a population of black folks already here? So what happened to them during the slave trade? Did they disappear? Like, what happened? Nothing happened. The Yamassee tribe is still here. They still here. They still black people. That haven't changed. But that's just something that, you know, if you're not going to tell the story, the European is not invested enough to tell the story. He's going to put you in the hub. He's going to put you in Africa. So when you see a brother that's from the Yamassee tribe, you think he's an Estalusta, which means he's a half-breed. He's a black person that mixed in with the yellow Indian.
Which is a false perception. We know that the original Indians and Aboriginal people here was Negro or black or rustic or copper colored, if you will. Hey man, we did some fire shit. Make sure y'all drop the fire emojis in the chat, man. This is really some fire ass shit right here. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat. Support the channel, man. Let's try to get 300 people in here today, man. We got 286. Let's try to get 300 in here before we end this live stream. Let's try to get 300 people in here, y'all.
Yamassee tribe is still here. They still here. They still black people. That haven't changed during the slave trade. Did it disappear? Like what happened? Nothing happened. The Yamassee tribe is still here. They still here. They still black people. That haven't changed. But that's just something that, you know, if you're not going to tell the story, the European is not invested enough to tell the story. He's going to put you in the hub. He's going to put you in Africa. So when you see a brother that's from the Yamassee tribe, you think he's...
Hold on a second, you guys.
He's going to put you in Africa. So when you see a brother that's from the Yamassee tribe, you think he's an Estalusta, which means he's a half-breed. He's a black person that mixed in with the yellow Indian. And it didn't work that way. No, no, no. He was the black one that was here. He was here before the slave trade. He was already here, right? That's something we have to talk about. That's not being talked about, but you got the source. Right? You may not believe me. Some people don't believe me. I'm an original man. I show you a source from a, you know, when I show you the devil's work, you believe it. This is what it is then. Right? Then he talked about the dark complexions of California. We're going to drop down one more and we're going to close out.
Shout out to my brother Clubhouse Streets in the chat, man. Shout out to LV Europia in the chat.
It says, such again is a tribe of which Balboa saw some representatives in his patches of the Isthmus of Darien in 1513. Yet it would seem from the expressions made use of the Gomorrah that these were true Negroes. This type was well known to the Spaniards, right? We're going to come back to that. And if they had encountered black men with glossy hair like the Shirayas, they would have undoubtedly have been much impressed by it and would have mentioned the fact. So what is the writer saying here? When Nunez Balboa, because when you hear the term or when you hear the name or see the name Balboa, they're talking about Nunez. And they talk about the Isthmus of Darien. And what that is that, see, when these Europeans came to the Gulf of Mexico, they were trying to figure out a cut through to get to the Pacific Ocean. See, Panama was a cut through, right? That's the Isthmus. So when Nunez first arrived in Panama, what he noticed was that,
hold on a second, you guys.
when Nunez Balboa came in contact with the Red Indians, and he noticed that there was black folks that was there in Panama, he asked the Indian chief, like, yo, where do these black folks come from? Because in Nunez's mind, these folks come from Africa. Now, Nunez was known for what? He was known for being the first anti-LGBT person. That's what he really got known for, because there were Red Indians that was practicing the lifestyle of what we today would call transgender or transvestites. There were men.
And when he means Indians, he means Mongolian Indians. Yellow natives was practicing transsexuality. No offense to anyone. These people, what you would call two-spirit Indians. These would have been the LBGQ community years ago. These are gay Indians that he's talking about, you guys. No offense.
For being the first anti-LGBT person. That's what he really got known for, because there were Red Indians that was practicing the lifestyle of what we today would call transgender or transvestites. There were men looking like women, right? There were effeminate men, right, in the red community, right? The Red Indian community. And
hashtag bisexual lectual or pansexual lectual in the chat.
So what Balboa did was he put the dogs on them and he killed them as transvestites. There were men looking like women, right? There were effeminate men, right, in the red community, right? The Red Indian community in Panama. So what Balboa did was he put the dogs on them and he killed them. He killed them viciously and violently. He didn't kill them quick with the sword. He did this as an example to try to tell the other natives this is what not to do, right? Nevertheless, right? Different story for different day. But that's how he got his popularity. He seen black folks that was there. So he asked the Indian chief, where did these black folks come from? And the Indian chief described to him, yo, they come from a 2 days journey south of here, Panama, south of here, 2 days journey. That's where they have their village at. So Nunez is shocked. He just had no idea that, right? But these are things that's not going to be taught to us in public school, not private school, not HBCUs. We never heard of this idea. Every time you see a person with our paint job, he comes from Africa. And that's cool, right? That's cool because, you know, many of our people got the dashiki, and every Friday we pull out the dashiki and all of that. But what I want to say this again, though. I want to say this too. The writer is also saying that this type, we talk about the Negroes, right? This type was well known to the Spaniards, meaning that if anybody going to know a Negro, it's going to be the Spaniards and the Portuguese, because, I mean, not for nothing, this is where the term come from, right? Negro, that comes from, it's a Portuguese term. But, you know, in the United States, we really don't separate them because we see Spain and Portugal at the same place. I've always seen it at the same place because I'm just from the States. We don't split up Spanish and Portuguese. They're all the same people to us. So the writer, again, he's going back saying, if these Negroes, right, that these explorers seen, if they had like the glossy hair, like the straight black curly hair, like the Red Indian have, right, they would have identified that and said that as well, but they didn't. They had the typical Negro hair, the woolly hair, the kinky hair, the nappy hair, like, you know, right, I'm going old school on you guys. There's a term they call non-ether hair, right? One of the old teachers used to use that term, that non-ether, meaning your hair curls up in the number 9. It's curly. This is how the explorers seen these Negroes. And again, he's like, if anybody should know, the Spaniards should know. Because the Spaniards always dealt with Negroes. This is where the term come from. The Spaniards always had a contact with the West Africans ever since like 1420s, right? The Spaniards have always had a close contact and relationship with the Moors, so they know what Negroes look like. And even if you go back in time, you'll see that Negro and Blackamoor is the same thing. It's not two different things. It's the same thing, right? We pointed it out on another conversation that we had in the archives as well. So yeah, to answer the question, absolutely, there were Black folks here in the Americas prior to the slave trade, right? Prior to Columbia's finding, quote unquote, America, right? And the people did not disappear. The Garifuni people are still here. They just got an African label on them. They was always here. The Yamassee tribe is still here. They're not going anywhere. They still here. It's just what it is. They're not going anywhere. Now, this is why I self-identify as a Black American. I don't use the term African American. I understand that when it came to the development of America through plantations, through slavery, the West Africans were brought to the plantations. And while on that plantation, the women, the Black women, Africans, Ashanti, Igbo, Ifa, Yoruba, etc., they didn't have control over their own bodies. And then there was a slave code about, for the most part, the brown had to deal with the brown, right? So while that's in place, you're creating a new species. Black Americans are a hybrid. They're a mixture. The Black African, the Black Aboriginal, the Black African, and the Red Aboriginal, the Black African, and the East Indian mix, right? That's right, the East Indian mix. And we talk about that on this platform because, you know, we have a running joke. When a Black person says that grandmama is Indian, we always say, well, what kind of Indian was she, right? Was she like the black Indian, like the Yamasee, that was always here? Was she like the red Indian? Or was she the East Indian? Because the East Indian was on the plantation as indentured, like the Africans was, but the Africans were slaves, right? Many of our people don't know this, but I tell you what, see, Kamala Harris is not the first East Indian that has been reclassified as a black person. They have always done that in history in the Americas. They have always reclassified.
They really have.
East Indian as Negroes. In fact, if you look at the document paperwork, you'll see.
Hell, you got Italians documented as Indians. You got Iron Eyes Cody, and then you got a conglomerate of white people classified as Indian by signing their names on dolls' rolls, getting Indian benefits. So we have a lot of pretending Indians and cosplays Indians.
It's East Indian, or they say Asiatic Indian, and then that classification changed to Mulatto. They will call it East Indian and Mulatto on paperwork just because. And then you'll notice that Mulatto, that changed to people of color, and then that changed to Negro. They reclassify East Indians to Negroes. So when us on Real Black Conscience Forum podcast say that many Indians were reclassified to Negroes, we're not necessarily talking about the red Indian. We're talking about the Yamasee, the black Aboriginal Indian, and the East Indian. Both was converted over on paperwork. But nobody disappeared because they still have the culture. They still have everything that's associated with them. The Yamasee is still here. The Garifuni is still here. The California Indians are still here. These people did not disappear. They're still here, right? So yeah, that's today's conversation, right? We pull it right out the book, right the document. You have it. You've seen it. Most importantly, you got the source. And yeah, man, we're going to talk about one more thing before we let out, right? I want to talk about this term copper color before we go, because the comments is the engine and fuel to the machine, right? So let me pull up one more thing. We're going to pull up some copper color. All right. So what we have in front of us right now, and again, we're going to talk about copper color, right? That term. At the life and times of Frederick Douglass, this is written by himself, his early life as a slave, right? His escape from bondage and his complete history to the present time. So we're going to go right down to page 32, right? And again, we're talking about this term, copper color. We're going to close out on this because, again, we had the conversation already with black folks in the Americas, and the answer is yes. There were black folks already in the Americas.
Before I end this live stream, I want to ask the 277 people in here that's in the chat to hit the like button, share the live stream, and support the channel. If y'all want to support the channel, Cash App tags at the bottom right of the screen by the Grizzly Bird. All right. PayPal information is ticking across the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all hit that like button and support the channel. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power, the voice of the Aborigines, man. Let's get it.
So yes, they do. There are some of our people, a segment of us, that have a bloodline that connects us to this land and this land only, right? That is a historical fact. And if you think otherwise, it's okay. That means you've just been reading the literature of 20th century and 21st century writers. No big deal. They're not trying to necessarily lie to you or pull a wool over your eyes. They're looking at the hub, right? Just like we look at white folks in the hub. We say all white folks come from Europe, right? Now, we can probably do a little bit more digging and find out that that's not true. They may come from other places in the world, but that's just the hub. So no matter where we see a devil at in the whole world, the minute we recognize he or she is a devil, they say, okay, this person is European. So just the way that we do that to them, they do that to us. No matter where they see a person of color, a black person, an original man and woman, all over the planet, no matter where they see us, they say, okay, this guy's from Africa, right? They do the same thing. So it is what it is. Copper color, right? Page 32, The Life and Times of Frederick Douglass. We're getting this right off the docsouth.unc.edu. page 32. And it says, as the day advanced, the heat increased, and it was not until the afternoon that we reached the much dreaded end of the journey, right? So Freddie Douglass, right, peace be upon him, they moved from plantation to plantation, and now they're on their way to another plantation. They're almost at the destination. And he says, here I found myself in the midst of a group of children of all sizes and many colors. So he's going to talk about the shades of the children that he came across, right? He said they're black, brown, copper colored, and nearly white. I had not seen so many children. As a newcomer, I was an object of special interest. Okay, so now let's talk about the term copper colored. We see a certain community, right? The Aboriginal community, they take this term copper colored to mean like it's dark brown, brown and all this. You know, they show you the penny. They got the music playing in the background, right? And they're misleading a lot of people, right? Unfortunately, they just misleading a lot of people. That term comes out of Limey land. It's a European term. It's not an Aboriginal term.
It don't matter if the word copper is an Aboriginal term. It's describing Aboriginal people. You trying to make it seem like the word copper color means light skin, but we know the word copper comes in very different shades. It means rustic, septic, tawny. You see what I'm saying? Mahogany. These are the terms and synonyms that come with copper. You see what I'm saying?
In fact, if you really want to get technical, right? Copper color comes out the 1828 dictionary for the most part. But if you looked up the word copper in the very same 1828 dictionary, you will find that the definition of copper is it's like pale red tinged in yellow. Not dark brown, almost black, or mahogany brown, whatever they come up with. Pale red tinged in yellow. Right? So let's go back to Frederick Douglass' statement. He said he's seen many children of different size and shape.
But what Noah Webster's coon ass defined it as, we got to look up the etymology of the word copper. What did it mean before it was defined as a yellow, pinkish, reddish tint? What was it defined as before that?
Black, brown, copper colored, and nearly white. Okay, so today he won't say that. He'll say black, brown, light skin, and nearly white. No, how we say light, bright, damn near white. We don't use that term copper colored anymore, right? That's a term from Limey land. We don't hold fast to the like the English language like that. But again, it's all about the science. They didn't have the science to identify shades. So today, you know, Manny Pacquiao, he'll be copper colored. Fat Joe, Cardi B, Drake could be copper colored. Beyonce would be copper colored. Everybody damn near in Mexico would be copper colored. You know, I hate to stereotype, right? But just for the sake of conversation, everybody in Mexico, like Oscar De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, all these boxing greats, right? Mexican boxing greats, the Garcias, they're all copper colored. We won't say copper colored no more. We say light skin. You know what I'm saying? Like we say, like, we look at the Garcias in the boxing world and the Chavezes, we say, okay, they light skin. We won't use the term copper color no more. And, you know, to close out, I want to say this as well. See, Mexicans are indigenous. They didn't come from nowhere. It was always here. They didn't just pop up somewhere. Sometimes we have this conversation about indigenous people. And Black folks, you know, our people is pushing that envelope so hard, and that's okay because we just read. Many of us was always here, right? Nevertheless, though, we look at these 5 or 6 million red Indians that we have in the United States, and then our people, Black folks, is trying to push their envelope, right, to get their recognition. But we overlook Mexicans. Like, this is the largest, the biggest indigenous population that we come in contact with. And it seems like they don't get that respect. We just like, oh man, he's a Mexican. The Mexicans is trying to cross the border and this, that, and the third. And yo, check this out, right? You can't build a border to stop Mexicans from coming into this territory that we call the United States. Because they've been here so long, they're indigenous to the land. They know how to build tunnels underneath the border, right? They can build a tunnel in Mexico and it can come up on the other side in California
And we're gonna end that live stream right there, man. That's it on the live stream. Shout out to everybody. I will do a part 2 to the Aboriginal Yamassees, Negroes, tribes in America. So make sure you support the channel, man. We about to get ready to get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. Hey, if y'all want me to do a fire bill tomorrow, man, I'm gonna need y'all to support the channel right now today. If y'all ain't supporting this bitch today, I might not even go live tomorrow. Dead homies. Might not even go live tomorrow, man. I do this shit for the Aborigines people. I need y'all to, y'all ain't even get 300 likes in a bit. Can we get 300 likes? Can we get run them likes up before we get out of here? I want to say peace and blessings to all the American Aborigines, man. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. Peace and blessings to you guys. Make sure y'all be safe. Stay aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power. If you ain't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We out, y'all. Peace.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, you been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me I gotta sleep with one eye open, you been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with Dylan, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, you been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I won't let them they won't see me I gotta sleep with one eye open, you been making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. I can't let them they won't see me
Lost, see, I glossed too, we shit ain't been the same.